You're stuck because of your beliefs. If you don't have the wealth you want, the relationships you want, or the health you want, it really comes down to one main thing. And it really comes down to your belief system. This is how I discovered it. This is how I learned it. If you were like me, you probably went to school. You went to school, you got a good education, you got into the workforce, and then you started working really, really hard. In fact, the harder you work, the bigger your paycheck is likely to be. I worked at companies where they expected 48 hours. Like 40 wasn't even the standard. 48 became the standard. And if you put in all of this extra time, like a 20% increase in the amount of hours, at the end of the year, you could get a 3.5% pay increase. Could you imagine donating 20% of your additional working hours or increasing the amount of working hours you can get for a 3% return on your money? That's where I found myself, and I noticed that I literally was causing me to get stuck. It's the same story that took place. It would get me stuck in money. It would get me stuck in relationships. It would get me stuck in about every avenue in life what I discovered. As I started moving along, I started asking myself some different questions. Like, what is it that causes me to get stuck, and what would cause me to be able to get ahead so I can prosper and I can have a better lifestyle? And that's when I discovered these 3 secrets. And today I will show you these 3 secrets. I will break it down so that you can say, this is how I can make a change. This is how I can shift my life so that it starts looking like what I want it to do. My name is Mike Morris. I am a wholesale provider and I help people save money. But the biggest thing I probably do is I help people figure out how to rewrite their stories so they can start creating a better life. So here's step number 1, kill the old story. What I mean is there's a story that you've been playing over and over in your head. You've been playing it over to the point that you actually believe it, and because you believe it, you see it completely manifested in your life. The story is in fact true, but it's only true for you. Not everybody believes or feels or acts the exact same way. That's why you see a huge divergence in outcomes in which people can take and obtain. Warren Buffett, he actually came out and stated, if he could take Warren Buffett and put young Warren Buffett in the beginning, with what he knows and he understands about stories and how to behave, he could actually become richer far, far faster than he had done previously. And what it is he's conditioned his mind to think in a different fashion that allows him to obtain success. What it is he's got a story that's different. Here's a story that I always played in my head. When I was growing up, my parents never bought a brand new car. And as I was going through life, I didn't buy a brand new car. But then one day it occurred to me when I was sitting, I'm like, why is it that I choose to buy used cars like this? Could I actually have a new car? I didn't think that I could. And then I said, wait a minute, let me ask myself a question. Would you rather have this used car or would you rather have this new car? And the answer came back was, well, unequivocally, well, of course I would take the new car. And then I'm like, okay, so then why wouldn't I do that? And so then I started having to question my belief systems because people do in fact buy new cars. But the story I was telling myself is that no, I cannot buy a new car. And as soon as I took and I made that shift, it caused me to say, if I wanted that new car, how could I afford that new car? If you're like me, you probably went to college and they trained you on how to go to school, how to work a 9-to-5 job. If you got a 9-to-5 job, they probably want you to work overtime for free. I mean, if you put 8 hours additional overtime per week, maybe at the end of the year, you'll get a 3% pay increase. And I'm like, wait a minute, what if I was to shift on how I go about providing for my family, and that would take and create a different outcome over here on the vehicle I could buy? And as soon as I shifted my story on what is possible, all of a sudden, this story ended up dying, which then created the ability to do something different, which was the identity shift. Now, if you ever follow Tony Robbins talks about the quickest way to change your lifestyle. He says it's to change your standards. Like, this is my standard and I will not accept less than this. This is my standard and I will find a way or I will make a way because this is where I'm comfortable and this is my standard. And what it is they say, look, whatever it is that I'm telling myself that stops me, that's got to die. I've got to put a new record on the record player, so to speak, because the old record is playing a story that I do not like. Pop a new record on it. Okay, here's what's possible. Here's what could be done. And so the identity then takes and makes a shift so that you are no longer willing to live with this old story. Now, once the identity shifts and you said, okay, here is the brand new record. This is the story that I want to play because these are the outcomes that I've got. It then slides into secret number 3. which is real confidence. Now you might be like, Mike, I have real confidence. I believe I can do it. I can achieve. It's not like that. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say real confidence is you make a decision to do some stuff. Real confidence means that you do it. Therefore, you can trust yourself. And if you say, look, my problem or the thing that I want to overcome is I want to be able to have confidence. You start by making commitments to yourself and then keeping those commitments to the point that you actually believe and trust yourself. Like, I want to lose weight, but the story in the back of your head saying, you will not do it because you're going to do this and this and this and this. You've got this New Year resolution, then you break it, and then you break it, and then you break it, right? Therefore, you lack real confidence in yourself. But once you say, nope, I'm going to burn the bridges, I'm going to burn the boat so that I can take the island. Therefore, I can trust myself to make these decisions. And as soon as you can say, boom, I can trust myself, therefore I have real confidence because I will follow through on the things that I said I would do. Real confidence comes in and boom, everything changes. Everything changes for you. You see how powerful this is? Once you stop, pause, and internalize what I just shared with you, this is the secret to start creating the good life. I'll show you a classic example that I run into people. There has been a tradition in our nation for, 200 years or something like that, where everybody buys power from the utility company. But here's the problem, okay? It's the way it's always been done. But like, there's a big storm that came up through Texas and it knocked out power in 14 states. So now we've got people that are cold, freezing, no power, it's 16 degrees outside. So now they're bringing charcoal grills in the house, trying to stay warm. They're running their cars in their garage. They get asphyxiated. There's a lot of people that actually got really, really hurt because of that. But see, what we've done is we've got so stuck and dependent on doing something that may have served us, but it doesn't protect us, right? Therefore, that's the story we tell ourselves. And when I sit down with folks, I'm like, look, you do not have to play out this story in your head and become completely dependent on the grid and on somebody else to provide for you. We can take and do what I introduced is called E-Power. I call it E-Power for end game, meaning I am planning my future because I am going towards my end game, and my end game is going to be based on my rules that keeps me safe and my family protected. See what I mean? That's a shift in your mind and in the methodology. Here's a breakthrough. You don't have to do it that old way. In fact, we can help you get power for your house at a lower cost that would protect you and your family for the end game, because the aging of the grid line and the acceleration of natural disasters, it's possible. It's possible your house could get hit and it could actually destroy all your solar, right? It's possible. But here's the thing. I know our chances of being safe and protected in that environment is 10 times greater than relying on the grid, which is one source of power, because if every house had solar on it, the majority of us all have connection to get power. And so that's one of the identity shifts I help folks make. Anyway, I hope that you got something from this, because this is powerful stuff once you understand it. You are welcome to go to my website. It's asksolarmike.com. So it's asksolarmike.com. Anyway, go there, check it out. We can start figuring out how to help you start breaking free from the utility company. Talk to you later.